What's up, guys? Movie Junkie for Life, and I'm happy to report it's a good one. It's a really, really good one. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is directed by Bob Persichetti, Peter Ramsey, and Rodney Rothman, and stars voice talents of Shamik Moore, Nicolas Cage, Jack Johnson, Haley Stanfield, Lee Schreiber, and a slew of others, and tells the story of a young Miles Morales who, after being bitten by a radioactive spider, becomes what else? Spider-Man, at least in his universe. And after Wilson Fisk creates a machine that tears a hole in the fabric of reality, Spider-Men from multiple universes start piling into his, and they have to, of course, team up to try and destroy this threat and return them all to their own realities. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, from the moment I saw this trailer, I was excited for this. But still, I didn't know exactly what to expect. Were we going to get something good or something just pandering to children, just like a big marketing scheme? Would it deliver? And I am over the moon happy to say, boy, does this deliver and some. First of all, let's talk about the visuals. This movie is a feast for the eyes, and if you're a fan of comic books and you've ever wanted to truly see a comic book come to life, this movie does that for you. One of my favorite aspects of this film was how every single Spider-Man from every single universe seemed to have their own unique look and unique style. Even though it's all cohesive, it all works in the Miles Morales universe. There's each of them just have something a little bit different going on, so that they feel like they jumped right off the pages of their comic book and into this world. You see it really clearly with characters like Spider-Ham and, of course, Spider-Gwen. That's where I really saw it, because I'm a huge Spider-Gwen fan, and it looked exactly how she looks in the comics. It's just wonderful. The visuals of the cityscapes, the color choices, it's graffiti, it's bright, it's less kaleidoscope of colors everywhere. But it's never, at least for me, it was never so bright and so colorful that you felt overwhelmed by what you were seeing, because it was dark where it needed to be dark. There were scenes like in the subway with the Prowler, scenes with Wilson Fisk. So it was dark where it needed to be dark, but it definitely remembered its roots as a comic book, and you get that color palette everywhere, something that you don't necessarily get with live action films, you know, that they tend to dumb down the colors, and if it's like a DC movie, they wash out everything. It was just so vibrant and so beautiful to watch. And the soundtrack, of course, suits Miles' personality. It suits the city of New York. It's very much a soundtrack that a young 14-year-old would be into. And the music, for me, every song that was chosen worked in every scene that it was in. Even the score itself, for the emotional beats, for the funny parts, for the action parts, everything was just meticulous. Nothing ever felt like it didn't belong. And of course, we're going to get our Spider-Man theme song that, you know, there are many of them, but you guys know the one I'm talking about. And it works. Everything works so well together. But the strength of this was definitely the story. Who would have guessed that we would get a story with this much depth in something like this? This movie more than delivered in terms of story. Because while Miles' story is very similar to Peter's, because they all have origin stories that seem to link, and there is that little moment that people started to groan just a little bit when each of them were telling their origin story, so to speak. You know, let's take you back to the beginning. Maybe it was done a couple times, too many times. For some people, it didn't bother me. But putting that aside, all of their origin stories are similar, but they are not the exact same person over and over again. And I absolutely love that. Miles is his own character dealing with his own things. He's this brilliant boy. He's in the city. He wants to be among his friends in a normal public school. And his environment is changing. He doesn't know who he is, both as a hero and as a person. And he has all these individuals around him, all these heroic people he can look up to, but he has to be careful what he's taking and picking and choosing from each person and what he learns from each person to help him become the Spider-Man that he needs to be and the Miles Morales that he needs to be. I love that. And the voice cast was perfect, guys. Perfect. I think it's Shamik Moore. Hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, as Miles Morales. I would have never guessed that I was a grown man. It's so well done. And it stand out for me, Jake Johnson as Peter Parker from his world. I don't want to give away too much as to which Peter Parker I'm talking about, but I love him. I loved him in New Girl, and I loved his voice here. He suited this Peter and what this Peter was about so perfectly. Their dynamic was funny, but it was also touching. I love that whole mentor and student relationship that they had. Everybody, Haley Stanfield as Gwen was also on point. Everybody brought their A game. You never felt like anybody was chewing the scenery, so to speak, but you felt like everybody was really invested in bringing out the best of these characters and bringing them to life. Honestly, guys, there's nothing really to complain about with this movie. The action sequences are fantastic. I mean, you're seeing everything. I've heard some people say that they felt like it was a little too crazy and they couldn't tell what was going on. I never had that problem. One of my absolute favorites is Peter and Miles swinging through the forest. I won't get into more details than that. Peter is barefooted, and I just noticed every movement, the way his toes would curl, the way his feet would, the way their bodies moved when they swing. Everything, it was so well done and so detailed. The costumes are gorgeous. I mean, Spider-Man, like Batman, has multiple looks and multiple costumes, except with Batman, of course, it's one person with all these costumes and it's all these different Spider-Men. But I loved it. It's just, this is a Spider-Man fan's dream, but it's also a comic book fan's dream. If there's anything negative I feel like I could say about this at this point in time, is maybe this movie won't have the mass appeal of a live action movie like Spider-Man Homecoming. Because while comic book fans will gravitate towards this, while Spider-Man fans will gravitate toward this, I feel like general audiences may watch it out of curiosity and have a fantastic time with it. But you'll have people who might feel, well, this is for kids, like Teen Titans Go. Note, this is nothing like Teen Titans Go. Please don't say I am saying these two are alike. Teen Titans Go is definitely for a very young audience. This is not. And I feel like that's the only place. It's not a con. It's not any fault of the movie. It's just that I feel like that might be the one thing that stops this movie from being seen by as many people as possible. But for me, guys, this movie is a absolute, at this point, 10 out of 10. I've only seen it once. I can't say that on watching it again, there won't be things I see that I don't like. But right now, right this minute, I honestly am struggling to find anything that I did not like about this movie. I enjoyed the hell out of this. For me, it's right up there with Spider-Man Homecoming as one of the best Spider-Man films ever made. And that's it, guys. I love this movie. What a way to end the year. And then I still have Aquaman. I know some of you have probably already seen that, and I'm so jealous. We're getting it after Christmas, but I'll definitely check that out. So if you guys like this video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It's very much appreciated. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face over there. I'm also on Stardust under the same name, Movie Junkie, capital M, capital J. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.